generation. No more standing out in line. So good at wasting our time. We are the lazy generation. We are the lazy generation. We are the lazy generation now.
Hello and welcome to round 6 of the 2008 GP4 Offline Championship. We are here for the crown jewel in F1's calendar, the Monaco Grand Prix. Now, the Monaco Grand Prix, not known for its particularly exciting races as well, although this year we saw, of course, Daniel Ricciardo's Red Bull screwing up Daniel Ricciardo this year in real life F1. But anyway, the grid is Joseph Willows on pole, Will Neller second, Felix Sontag in third, Yuri Marta fourth, Jay McKenzie in fifth, Jack Boyman sixth, good qualifying from him. And then we move on to George Roque in the other BMW Sauber in seventh, Evan Byrne, good qualifying from him in eighth place. On to ninth place is his teammate Paige Knight, and then Waze Kuba in 10th place. So we move on further up the order. In 11th is James Willows, Dominic DeLacio in 12th. Good qualifying from him as well. He hasn't had a particularly great season, DeLacio, so I'll hope this race hopefully he'll finish this race at least. In 13th is Finlay Strachan ahead of Ryder Moitian, who also himself has had a nightmare season, hasn't even scored a point yet. But hoping that will change. 15th, Alex Southgate. 16th is Sam Thompson. Disappointing qualifying for him. He would have been hoping to be higher up the order than its two Toro Rossos of Mikael Skal and Florian Volker. And coming up in 19th and 20th is the two Force Indias of Viggo Holst and Azul Zafri. And finally, on the back row of the grid, is the two Super Guris of Dmitry Surkov and Adam Wolff. And that is the grid for the Monaco Grand Prix. As we now head to the grid, the weather, it's going to be bright and sunny. We're about to now head for the grid. Here we are, we're on the grid. The lights are now on. 5 lights. Long hold, and the lights are finally out, and away we go. And Joseph Willows gets a good start and takes the lead. Which one of the Ferraris is going to head into second? I believe it's Sontag, and it is Sontag. And there is McKenzie trying to get past Will Neller in third place. And there's been a bit of a hold up at the back. Has everyone made it through unscathed? It looked like there was a bit of debris at turn 1. I believe one of the cars might be missing a bit of debris. And yes, it is. That is Sam Thompson. There we go. You can see what happened. Here's the start on board from Roland Moitian. You see Thompson comes through there, and does Moitian go into the back of him? Yes, he does. And Moitian will lose his front wing, and Thompson his rear wing. So dramatic start already. So they're trying to get past Thompson's slowing car. Southgate is being held up here by Thompson. He's going to overtake coming into right-handed before all of those hairpin. He does make the move stick. And Gal trying to go around the outside of Thompson, and he does it very well. And gets into 16th. So Thompson, this is going to cost Thompson his race dearly, as there is Volker at the back. Surkov, who's also lost his front wing as well. Don't know how that's happened. Let's go on board. Is this how he lost it? Oh wow, he went into the back of his teammate Adam Wolff, and somehow he didn't lose any of his rear wing. But Adam Wolff will be able to go around, whereas Surkov won't. There is Moitian, Southgate without his front wing as well. There's Thompson at the back, Surkov at the back. A lot of cars that are going to have to change their wings, which will cost them their race definitely, as Joseph Willows sets the fastest lap of the race. Will Neller in third, under pressure from Jay McKenzie. And targeting second, Willows in first place. Into the pits comes Surkov and Thompson and Moitian and Southgate as well. Watching now finally gets his wing changed. Southgate goes out, and so does Thompson, I believe. Surkov now as well. There'll be words in the Super Aguri camp after the race, although Wolf would be happy that he didn't sustain any damage, whereas Surkov did. Sontag in second. There's Boyman in fifth. Broke in sixth, who stayed in sixth, sorry. Marta in seventh. Willows out in front. Sontag in second. Nella third. Sontag is falling away a little bit from Willows. Nella's close behind him, but we still have 76 laps to go, so we have no idea what is going to happen here. But it's going to be very difficult to overtake. So Sontag can, I suppose, be happy that Monaco is a tough place to overtake. So there should be no problems with him keeping second place for now. Anyway, we come into the final corner on board with Volker in 15th place, coming across the start-finish line as Gal sets the fastest lap of the race for Toro Rosso. But that probably will not last very long. But that is an impressive pace by Gal on lap 3. Here's Mackenzie still right behind Nella. Nella right behind Sontag. Willows has gone up the road a little bit. So he's not too far in front, but he has gone up the road a little bit. Coming through the classic tunnel into the chicane. Not many drivers actually have moved many positions. Master, however, has made an awful start. He's dropped down the order. He's dropped down from 4th to 7th, so it's not been a good start for him. As here, the two Force Indians, do they make contact here? Yes, they do. Zaffrey barging his way past Holst, and Zaffrey has hit Holst out of the race, I believe. And yes, he has. Oh my goodness me, it's another collision between the Force India drivers. And Holst is out of the race on lap 5. That is a disaster for the Dent driver, as the Marshal comes out right in front of the cars, coming around the final couple of corners there. But as his car's pushed off the track, is Volker, who and Gal being held up here. We can hear, see, so this is Delacio. So what happens here? So Strachan makes contact with Delacio, and he pushes him into the wall as well. Oh wow, and it's the exact same thing that's happened. So Delacio is out of the race as well, and it's held up. Two Toro Rosso drivers, Gal and Volker, as they both managed to just get past, but Volker loses his front wing as he hits Southgate's car, and so he's had to go into the pits. That has not gone very well for him at all. So that's not been a very good race so far for Volker. So he changes his front wing. We're on board with Mackenzie behind Nella, and Sontag has got away a bit as Strachan is now out of the race. He skipped to lap 20, and this is what happened. He came around the last corner. It looks like he had a lot of understeer and just went into the wall. So obviously nothing much had happened from that point onwards. As did Gal lose his front wing? Have a look. He goes round. Does he lose his front wing? Yes, he does. So Gal now loses his front wing. So now he's going to have to make a trip to the pits. Not been a good race for the Toro Rosso boys so far. So Volker's already had to make a stop and done 18th. Now Gal will have to make his way back to the pits. There goes Gal past the incident. Strachan there is pushed away from the track. We're still leading ahead of Sontag with Nella third, Mackenzie fourth. Boyman during a good race in 5th place. Ahead of George Roque and Yuri Marta, I believe, unless those positions have changed. As Gal comes into the pits, but his crew are not ready for him. And so this is going to hold up Gal considerably. He's already dropped down to 17th place, but as you can see, coming into the pits, the crew were not ready for him. There was no one in there, and it was only just as he actually got into his pit box that the team came out for him. And now they've changed his tyres, but this is going to completely ruin Gal's race. So any chance of any decent result today have pretty much gone. He now finally makes a stop, an 18.5 second stop because of that. As now into the pits comes Southgate for his stop. And this is, I believe, a scheduled stop. Southgate involved after the first lap collisions, but he This will be his first proper stop. This will be his second overall, but his first one. So let's see how far he can go, if he'll have to make another stop before the end, which I reckon he probably will. Can't see the tyres lasting that long. As past come the two Ferrari drivers. Has Sontag gone past? No, he hasn't. Sontag's been held up here by Southgate coming out of the pits. So Willows is going to get himself a bit more distance now, as Mackenzie's into the pits. Byrne goes past. Boyman's in the pits as well. That's a BMW Sauber. I think that was George Roke, I believe. That's Byrne in the pits. There's a Red Bull in there as well. James Willow's in the pits. He comes out, 12-second stop. Azul Zafri is in the pits as well. Force India. There'll be words after the race with him and Holst and the Force India crew, Vijay Mallya. There'll be a lot of words said. They will not be very happy about this. Zafri does a 12.5 stop, coming out in 15th place. Page Knight is now in the pits as well. She comes out in 10th place. She'll come out in clean air. As now her teammate Evan Burns in the pits as Mackenzie sets the fastest lap of 1:13.003, almost a 14 dead. Byrne comes out, 11.8 second stop, and he will come out in a comfortable 9th place. As there comes Page Knight coming around, and into the pits comes Adam Wolf now. We are now on lap 30 at the moment out of 78, so you've still got more than half the race left to go, so anything could happen. He comes out at 10.7 second stop, not bad from the Suguri boys. They come round, that is Southgate that's just going to go past him. Will Nella, Sontag's teammate, is in the pits as well. The pits is Will Nella, and that is George Roke in the pits as well. So I believe that actually it was Jay Mackenzie a few laps back that came into the pit as well. So I do apologise for that. That was my mistake. Roke in the pits and does a 12.1, a bit slow there from him, or from the BMW crew. Sorry. Mackenzie's in 5th. Nella's in 6th, so I believe actually Mackenzie might have got actually ahead of Nella. And yeah, he did actually, because he was behind him. So Mackenzie's managed to get ahead of Nella, as Willows has made his stop, and he will come out the pits as Marta, his teammate, as well. And oh no, the team are not ready for Marta, and he's gonna lose vital positions because of this. This is gonna move everyone up behind him. It's gonna move Boyman up the order, George Roke up the order. It's gonna move up a number of people if Marta doesn't get out the pits soon. Oh dearie me, Marta's not had the best of luck with McLaren. A bit like Lewis Hamilton is with Mercedes at the start of this year. And out of the pits comes Marta. He's going to be 25.9 seconds. He was held up there. Marta's going to come out in 13th place. He's dropped that far down. He's dropped behind Volker. And I don't know who the other car is in front. But that has cost him dearly. And there'll be some words in the McLaren pits after this race because of that, as into the pits on lap 42 comes Florian Volker. We've now passed halfway point in the race now. He will come out in 16th place. Volker involved in an incident early on. As into the pits comes Surkoff, who is down in 19th, in last place at the moment. See how quick this stop will be. And it's a 12.7, not brilliant there, but again, Surkoff doesn't matter too much really, because he's in last place, so it's not really going to gain anything. As Marta goes past there, as Moichin, 18th. It's been a poor season from him so far. He's not scored any points yet. He's not really had any luck, to be honest. and it's not happened again for him today, so it doesn't look like he'll get any points unless he makes a miraculous drive up the order, or unless many cars retire from in front of him as well. That would help. But as he comes out the pits, he's going to be in 18th. Oh no, 19th. The circle goes past him, so that's not good for him either. He's about to come out in front of Azul Zafri and Gal, and he does so. And into the pits comes Sontag, who has actually gone for a one stop. He has managed to make his tyres last up until this point, so nearly 50 laps on this set of tyres. That's pretty impressive. Obviously, he's not going to come out in the lead, but whereas everyone will have to make another stop, he won't. So this could play into his advantage here, a 12.1 second stop. So let's see where he comes out. So at the moment he's in third. He's actually going to drop now down to fourth, because I imagine Nella has gone past him as well. Nella McKenzie and Joseph Willows. He's going to come out ahead of George Rogan in fifth place comfortably. So he'll now have free air to, I suppose, express himself really and pick up the pace. As Boyman, oh, Jack Boyman comes around the final corner. He turned in too early. He has crashed. And fortunately, and he's been hit from behind by Paige Knight, who somehow has not actually got any damage from that. Boyman's rear wing is off, but Paige Knight seems to have got away with that. As we go on board with Boyman again, coming around into the final corner, you can see he turned in a bit too early. Tried to hit the curves, but then he hit the wall, and then that took him into the other wall, and so he's lost his rear wheels. And Moreno just manages to avoid, I think that was Waze Kuba, just avoided in there. But as you can see, Paige Knight here hits the back of Boyman. He loses his rear wing, but Paige Knight somehow gets away with any damage. So there is Marta going past as well. That is not good. There's wheels banging on the track as Waze Kuba comes into the pits from 6th place. In a decent race so far for Kuba. He qualified 10th. He's been quite quiet, to be honest, but he's had to be held up here by Gal coming into the pits, so that will cost him some time. As he comes out, Moitin going past Gal in the pits, so that is not good for Kuba. He might drop a couple of positions because of this. He had to wait for Gal to come out the pits, although it looked like he seemingly had a decent gap, but again, that's not for me to judge, that's for the crew to judge. So Gal comes out in 15th place, and that is Jay McKenzie. Jay McKenzie from 3rd place. Oh, well, he's running in 2nd at the moment, but it would have been 3rd. And he has suffered a suspension problem. Oh, and he was in 2nd, sorry. A suspension problem with... Oh, that is heartbreaking for Jay McKenzie. He was running so comfortably, and once again, reliability has cost him dear. His car has cost him, and he is going to be out of the race. So this is going to play into Sontag's hands as well. I believe McKenzie still had to stop again, but it would have still played into his hands. As Adam Wolf now comes into the pits. See how quick the stop is. It's a 9.9. That's a fast stop for the Super Aguri team. It's Gal coming through the chicane in 14th place. And oh, Gal's got a problem. Gal's got a problem. He pulls straight into the wall. He stops straight away. It's not been a good race for him, but he is out of the race. I believe it was a transmission problem, as far as I know, as he is parked just on the edge of the chicane. It's not exactly in the way, but as the marshal comes and pushes him out, we can see what the problem was. It was a transmission problem. I did see it correctly on his dashboard. As into the pits comes Paige Knight, who was ahead of Waze Cooper after he got held up in the stops. Also quite a quiet race for Paige Knight as well. Nothing much has happened to her, nothing too exciting or worthy to say of her really, but I suppose because again it's been a quiet race from her really, but there's a lot else happening in the field. But Paige Knight could hopefully nab some points in this as Yuri Marta comes into the pits. So he had a nightmare first stop as this McLaren crew weren't ready for him. They are ready for him now, as there goes Willows past the pits and Volker as well. Volker is up to 10th place. He's actually recovered quite well from having to pit for a front wing. So that's an impressive actually race from Volker at the moment, as he comes out ahead of Paige Knight just as Rope comes into the pits. 8.8 seconds stop, a good stop there from the Sauber crew. There's other crews as well waiting in the pits. Burns in the pits as well. I believe, is that Willow's in the pits? It is James Willow's in the pits as well. See where they come out. Azul Zafri is up into 5th place at the moment. So Azul Zafri at the moment with 17 laps to go, 18 laps to go, sorry, is going to be in the points at the moment. That's pretty impressive. Impressive at the moment, but I believe he'll still have to make another stop as Byrne comes out in 9th place, just outside of the point. I don't actually know where Paige Knight. Paige Knight's 12th. I thought she was higher up the order than that. But anyway, Joseph Willows, the leader, now comes into the pit, which means Sontag is going to take the lead of the Grand Prix, and essentially he can win this because again, none of them are going to make another stop. Nella's in the pits as well. So this has worked out perfectly for Sontag. All he needs to really do is just nurse that car to the end, and he's got the victory secure, really. So he clearly managed to get his tyres to work, whereas the others didn't. Masterful driving, a bit like Sergio Perez, the amount of times that he manages to get his car to go distances of the races. Azul Zafri now comes in the pits. He was in 5th, but he's dropped down into 10th place. Down to 11th, sorry. It's been still a decent race from Zafri, but again, he'll have that thought lingering in his head of Vijay Mallya talking to him about the incident. As Thompson is also about to come out of the pits. There goes, I believe that's Sontag. As Southgate is about to come around the first corner, can he get past Thompson? No, he can't. He stays behind him. As Evan Byrne crashes into the wall, and Marta loses his front wing by hitting the wheel that was going all over the track, and Byrne hits the wall coming into the hairpin, and he is out of the race. He just went a bit too wide. See, seemed to have a decent line, but I think he just slid into the wall. He just couldn't steer it in time, and he hits the wall, and Marta just had nowhere to go and hits the front wing, and the wheel bounces down the track, and Byrne is out of the race. And there goes Paige Knight. We'll move up the order. Azul Zafri. Disastrous for Evan Byrne. He was having a good race, but now he has cost himself dear, and Sontag is about to go through past Byrne's car. There's no debris on the track, nothing can hit him or any other driver that goes past. As Martin unfortunately has to come into the pits again for another front wing. It's been a nightmare race for Marta, and it's been a complete nightmare. He didn't make a good start. He dropped down to 7th at the start. Had a bad first pit stop, and now he's lost his wing. So he's now dropped all the way down to 12th. As we have 4 laps to go, and Sontag is leading. He's got a lot of traffic in front of him as he comes round 2 left-handers. And the Monaco circuit, I believe, is that Zafri in front of him? I think it's Zafri. And is that Paige Knight in front of him? Oh, that is very close. Sontag nearly goes into the back of the Renault. I believe that is Roland Moitian. See, Willows is catching up because Sontag's being held in traffic, although he's still got to get past Thompson and Southgate in front of him. So it's not all bad for Sontag, but he's still stuck behind this traffic, which he'd rather he wasn't at this point in time. Coming through the tunnel into the chicane. As Paige Knight is in 8th and Zafri is in 9th, so Zafri is battling Paige Knight for the last point spot. Can she hold on from Zafri? Zafri will want to get the points to, I suppose, show Force India what he's got as they're coming into the final corner. And Sontag is right behind the Renault. Oh, so close to contact. He should hopefully get past him on the straight if the Renault decides to let him go, but I don't believe he did. So we are now on lap 76 as Zafri is right behind Paige Knight. Here's Surkoff and Thompson. There's Moitian. Sontag's in the wall! Sontag's in the wall! And I believe that's Willows that went past him. It is! Sontag is in the wall. There is traffic there. That is, I believe, Southgate. And Yuri Marta he lifts in the air Southgate. Sontag rejoins in 2nd place behind Marta. Southgate's there and Nella closed up. So what happened? So Sontag was right behind, I believe this was Southgate. He was behind Southgate, and he, coming around the hairpin, got a slightly bit close. He clipped the back of him, and then he got, I believe, clipped by the car behind, I think? But he got clipped in the wall, and then the Renault of Moitian, I believe that was, got stuck on him, and then he got going, but then Southgate went into him, and so did Willows. Willows managed to escape, and then Marta got involved as well. Oh my goodness, that is horrific there for Felix Sonntag. He has been robbed of he's been robbed of a victory here. That was definitely his in the bag. It was his in the bag, and Willows has sadly been handed victory on a plate. I bet he was hoping that he would probably still win anyway, but Sonntag really executed the one-stop strategy perfectly, the only one to do so, and now, unfortunately, traffic has let him down. I don't know really who was to blame there for that incident, but I suppose that would be really for the stewards to look at. But I don't know if anything will happen. But Sonntag is in second. Nella's close behind, but I imagine Nella won't want to go past Sonntag unless he wants to get his head blown off. So we're coming into the tunnel. Sonntag managed to get past Southgate. Marta's just in front in 11th place. As Willows comes through the swimming pool chicane for the penultimate time, and he's about to start his final lap. He's leading by 9 seconds at the moment. Sorry about that, guys. As he comes round the final corner, he's about to start the final lap of the Monaco Grand Prix. But Willows was definitely not expecting to be leading on lap 76, but he got, well, a lucky break. That's all it can be really said that it is. It was a lucky break. Even though he was catching him, it was simply down to the traffic holding Sonntag up, and he was obviously able to get past Thompson and Southgate. And I suppose Willows managed to negotiate it. Sonntag unfortunately got caught up, and Willows looks set to win the Grand Prix unless the Honda in front holds him up or has a problem, and Willows loses his front wing or crashes or something like that. But I don't think Willows is going to be able to catch. Isn't going to be able to catch the Honda coming up. I think this is of Southgate, I believe. And Volker has managed to get up into 6th place. Florian Volker, what a race! I was not expecting him to get up there at all. I don't know how he managed to get up there, to be honest, but no, he managed to recover very well from the first lap incidents. As Willows is about to come round the final couple of corners to win the Monaco Grand Prix, undeservedly, I have to say. Again, Sonntag executed the one-stop strategy very well, but Josie Willows is coming around the final corner, down the final straight, and Josie Willows wins the Monaco Grand Prix. Oh my goodness, I would not want to be in Felix Sonntag right now. He must be absolutely furious inside that crash helmet. Almost reminiscent of Daniel Ricciardo this year, except for, unfortunately, the traffic stuffed Sonntag up and not his pit crew. But Nella's going to come home in 3rd, Sonntag in 2nd, Broke is going to come home in 4th place. I don't know who is I don't actually know who's in 5th place. Oh, Nella hits the Honda there of Southgate, probably for what he did to in anger, really. Cooper actually came in with 5th. Volker came home in 6th. A great result from him, a great recovery. Willows in 7th, Page Knight in 8th. And here is the full race results. Joseph Willows winning the Monaco Grand Prix by 9 seconds ahead of Felix Sonntag. Very, very sorry for Sonntag there. Nella is in 3rd, Roke 4th, Cooper, a good result in 5th, Volker, a great recovery 6th, Willows 7th, Page Knight 8th, Zafri 9th, just couldn't get the points, Thompson 10th, Marta 11th, Southgate 12th, Adam Wolf 13th, Surkoff 14th, Moitin 15th, and the retirements from this race were Irvin Byrne, Mikos Gal, Jay McKenzie, Jack Boyman, Finley Strachan, and Dominic DeLazio, and also Felix Vigo Holst as well. Got to mention him as well, but so we come here. Here are the drivers' best laps. Marta actually set the fastest lap. That will be a mere consolation for him. James Willows 2nd quickest, Mackenzie 3rd, Nella 4th, Sonntag 5th, Strachan 6th, Willows only down to 7th, Gal in 8th, 9th Cooper, 10th Volker, 11th Thompson, 12th Roke, 13th Southgate, 14th Zafri. 14 drivers separated by less than a second. That is pretty close. That's good pace from Melton Zafri as well. Byrne in 15th, Boyman in 16th, Page Knight 17th, Wolf 18th, Talacio 19th, Moitin 20th, Surkoff 21st, and Vigo Holst with the slowest lap. And here are the driver's standings after round 6. I would also like to point out that, unfortunately, due to what happened in this race and due to other circumstances, other races in which it has happened to him. Unfortunately, Felix Sontag has decided to quit the championship, so that is going to be a big loss for Ferrari and to his teammate Will Nella. So I don't know who is going to replace him, but whoever it is going to have to, I suppose, make sure that he does well. And again, he's going to be a big loss to the whole championship, to all other drivers, including mainly Will Nella and Page Knight. But these are the drivers' standings. Nella in first, Willows in second, Sontag in third. Unfortunately, he'll leave, so sadly he won't finish there, but hopefully he can still at least finish maybe, I suppose, in the top 10, let's hope. Marshall's in fourth, Mackenzie's in fifth, Roke's sixth, quite close there in the battle for fourth. Boyman's seventh, Page Knight 8th, Waze Cooper 9th, James Willis 10th, Evan Byrne 11th, Sam Thompson 12th, Volker 13th, Strachan 14th, Southgate 15th, Delasio 16th, and then Zafri, Hulse, Wolf, Sergov, Moichin, and Gal have all got no points. So Ferrari at the moment lead the Constructors' Championship ahead of McLaren by 8 points. BMW on their own in third place ahead of Toyota. Williams and Red Bull, good battle for fourth in the Constructors as well. Renault in 7th, Toro Rosso 8th, Honda 9th, and then Force India and Super Aguri don't have any points between them. So that has been the Monaco Grand Prix, a very dramatic end to the race, which unfortunately had consequences for Felix Sontag. So unfortunately, we will not see him in round 7. So that is going to be very sad for the whole championship. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you for round 7. Goodbye.